Hello everyone, today we're making a jar. So in today's episode of Maddie doesn't really have an original idea, so she's just doing something fun to make a video. I am making a jar, and if you don't know what I mean when I say I'm making a jar, basically there's this account on TikTok called The Jar, and it's this family who has this like perpetual snack jar that they just keep filling with snacks. So they have an ongoing trail mix sort of situation available to them at all times. And so I'm gonna be making one of these jars for my family, but I picked out some snacks, and to make this a little bit more original, creative, interesting, whatever you may say, I have associated a topic with each of the snacks, so that basically you're not just watching me put snacks in a jar. I have something to talk about. So this is sort of a jar tag of sorts. So I'm just gonna get right into it and start filling the jar and talking about what I'm talking about. Okay, so the first topic snack that we have for the jar is the breakfast food. Now, we all know that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And as Ron Swanson once said, there is not a sadness that could not be cured by breakfast food. And I fully agree with this statement. So, my breakfast food for this video, which you can already see because I didn't crop the camera super well, are these Sea Stars cereal things. They are gluten-free, and per recommendation of the original makers of the jar, if you put a cereal in it, it has to be sort of dense. So my personal favorite cereal would be a Honey Nut Chex or a peanut butter Chex cereal. However, those are quite crumbly and don't have much structural integrity as far as cereal goes. So they, in the original jar family, use the Panda peanut butter puffs, which I personally like those as well. But I wanted to mix it up a little bit, so I'm choosing these Sea Star cereal things. They're quite good. They're not like as good as like Fruit Loops or some other similar thing, but they're healthier. They're made of beans, I believe, so they have some like protein and such. And they're also vegan, so that's what I'm putting in as my breakfast food. While we're on the topic of breakfast foods, and while I fill the jar with this breakfast food, I'm going to be talking about how breakfast is a very versatile meal. I would say breakfast is my favorite meal, 100%. And I just think it's very versatile, and I think that this warrants a small discussion. Basically because, like, my thought being that, you know, when you have like something sweet for dinner, right? Like if you have pancakes for dinner or you have dessert for dinner, you sort of call it like breakfast for dinner or dessert for dinner. Like it's not just dinner, it's like something for dinner. Whereas breakfast food in its nature can be sweet or savory or a combination of both. So basically all I'm saying is here, the main point I want to be making is that breakfast can do both. Like she is that girl, she's that queen, and yeah, she can do both. And basically that's all I have to say. I love breakfast. And also this sort of topic was slightly inspired by Parks and Recreation, my favorite show. And so yeah, basically I love Parks and Recreation. If you don't, I don't know if we could be very close friends. Actually, most of my friends like Parks and Recreation. I'm sorry, that was loud. And this also might be too much, but whatever. Most of my friends also love Parks and Recreation, and it is not because one of us liked it and shared it with the rest of them. It is quite because we all liked it individually and then found each other. So just bottom line, breakfast is the best food. she's that queen that can do both, and Parks and Recreation is amazing. Okay, my next number 2 topic for my number 2 food is nuts. So the food is of course nuts. I chose some whole macadamia nuts because I don't really like almonds. I think they're too hard, but that might just be because I have bad teeth. And I also believe that I might be allergic to cashews and pistachios, but I'm not entirely certain. And also I'm kind of neutral about peanuts. Like, I don't love them, but I also don't hate them. So I chose something else, just have some, change it up here. And the topic is how I am nuts. And more so I wanted to do like an embarrassing little story about how I'm crazy a little bit. So in October 2018, there's not much to the story really, but I was riding a bird scooter and I fell off of it and broke my nose. That is, to me, it's very funny now, and I laugh, and I'm very glad I like didn't break my teeth or get a concussion or do anything worse than just breaking my nose. I did have to have surgery on my nose to like place it back where it needed to be. And I think that this is nuts, not only because it's a crazy story and it's an embarrassing story, but because this occurred the week before fall break. So I had the next following Monday and Tuesday off. And I went home on that weekend. On Monday, probably, I went to a doctor to have it checked out. I had already gone to like urgent care to confirm it was broken, but I went to a specialty doctor to have it checked out. And then he was like, we need to like do this operation this week, but I don't have an opening tomorrow, as in Tuesday. So I only have an opening on Thursday. But this was when I was in a semester of college when I had 18 credit hours and I was taking like the notorious most hard, difficult class in my major. And I had the lab for that class on Thursday, and it was like, if you missed it, there was no excuses to miss it, even though it was like on the computer, and I probably, like, I had a doctor's note and I probably could have done everything myself on my own time. I had to still go to that. So I literally had nose surgery on Thursday morning when I was supposed to be in lab, and then I got on a plane and flew back to school with my mother. Stayed in a hotel with my mother, and then ended up going to the different section of that lab on Friday morning because the grind never stops and I had to go to the lab. So that's just how I'm nuts. And there definitely are other stories that explain how nuts I am in different ways, but that's just one of them. So here we go. Wow, these are kind of large compared to the cereal. Oh well. Okay, so the nuts, number 2 topic, we're done. Next. The next topic was one that I chose at the last minute because the original chocolate item that I wanted to put in the jar, I could not find at my local Kroger, and I didn't want to go to a second store, so I didn't. But I can't do that original point that I wanted to make. So instead I chose these Junior Mints because I like Junior Mints. They're good. I haven't had them in a while. And sort of my topic for this mint situation is that for some reason I thought about how like mints sort of remind me of old people. Like, I don't know why, but I feel like older people always like have mints, or like they have their special mint or candy that they just love. And so that sort of reminded me of this, which is really counterintuitive because these are Junior Mints, which suggest youth. My topic here on the topic of old people, or older adults, as my one professor who does geriatric technology would say, because old people or elderly people is like not a good term. I saw this tweet the other day that said, and let me find it so I can read it word for word. This tweet said, "I am an old man and Twitter is my porch." And this was very funny to me. It wasn't like oh my God, this is hilarious, I'm crying funny, but it was just like this is so true. And so I would like to discuss that a little bit further as I put these mints very slowly into this jar. So if we can sort of ruminate on that topic, is that a word? I don't know. If we can sort of, you know, think about this topic, Twitter is like our front porch. Like, you go on there every day, and I don't know, I mean, I feel like our front porches now in this day and age are not very interesting, but like if you lived in a city or something, your porch would be interesting, right? And we go on Twitter every day and we never know what we're gonna get. Like, whatever crisis or crazy thing that happened in the world is all over, trending. Everyone's putting their commentary out there about it. And yeah, it really just is kind of our front porch. Like, I don't know. There's a lot going on. You can see a lot on Twitter. Yeah, I don't know. Again, don't know if there's really much to say about this. Just wanted to speak about it. That I do like that tweet and I resonate with it. So yeah, I'm going to continue putting these mints. There's like one stuck in there in this jar. Okay, so my next topic revolves around these crackers. So these are very good gluten-free crackers. They're like cheese sandwich crackers, like similar to those Ritz Bits, or I don't know what other, like, I guess those like toast cheese ones, but those are bigger. I don't know. But these crackers are really good. I love them. They're very salty. Basically, these crackers, I did find them at Kroger now, but previously, like when I was in college, earlier in college, you could only find them at Target. And in my college town, the Target was like not the closest place to go, especially when I was like on a meal plan and I didn't need real food. Like, to just drive out to Target to like get snacks was not a responsible decision to make. But I loved these and I still love them. And so somehow this brings me to the topic of Target and how, you know, I, like every other white person, love Target and have a lot to say about Target, and it's mostly good. But what I wanted to say in this video, so I've been shipped shopping just as like I did get a job. I know I mentioned in my last video that I was unemployed. So I did get a job and that starts in January. But so I've been shipped shopping temporarily before my job starts and before I have to take online classes again. And yesterday, this is all I have to say, but yesterday I did my most fun, interesting, crazy shipped shop that I've ever done. I had to buy someone a printer, like a whole ass printer, like straight up a $150 printer. And I think it's funny that someone thought like, oh, I need a printer today, but I don't want to go to the store. Let me see if I can ship it. I think that in itself is quite funny. But I think it's even funnier because this printer, it wasn't just like, oh, I need a printer and I'll get the ink that goes with it. Or I need this printer and I also ran out of eggs, so I'll just add the eggs to it. No, it was like a whole shopping list of legitimate foods, like someone's majority grocery shop, plus a 20-pound container of cat litter and a printer. So it was actually quite a quick shop. I do like shopping at Target because you can organize things by like the aisles and stuff in the Shipped Shopper app. But yeah, it was quite interesting that this was not only just a printer on the order, but that it had all this other stuff on the order. And the person definitely had like a sense of humor about it. Like they were like, I know this is a weird thing to order. And I was like, no worries. I was sort of worried that this was like not gonna, or that this was gonna be too much for this jar, but it's filling it up quite well. Okay, so my next sort of quick topic that I don't have much to say about, but was relevant, so the next food is Swedish Fish. This is my favorite candy. I love Swedish Fish. And the topic that I sort of have associated with this is that it's just a fun fact about me. I'm a pescatarian. I'm not a vegetarian. I know I said I was a vegetarian in one of my other videos, but it's just easier sometimes than explaining. But here's my explanation of this. So yeah, I'm a pescatarian. I still eat fish. I would say my top 3 types of fish would be salmon, a tuna steak, and shrimp, if you consider that fish and not shellfish, whatever. But those are my 3 top fish types that I eat as a pescatarian. And that's kind of all I have to say about this. Okay, so she's looking pretty good. You know, she's only about half full, but I'm sort of glad because I thought the cereal was gonna be too much when I put it all in there in the beginning. So yeah. So we're on to our final topic, and I feel like you guys watching this didn't know this, but if there was a topic that everyone's been waiting for, it was this topic. Although you didn't know that you were waiting for it because I didn't say anything about it before. But this is probably the best topic, and it is the staple. So in the original jar videos that the people make on TikTok, they say that their sort of jar staple is glutino pretzels, which glutino pretzels are great. And I was actually going to use glutino pretzels in this jar. However, like I said, I went to one store and I didn't want to go to more stores, and the store that I went to didn't have any glutino pretzels. But I am going to sort of one-up the situation. So I do like glutino pretzels. I think they're good. I particularly like the pretzel sticks. I don't know, they're good. And in terms of gluten-free pretzels, they are top tier. But I've also recently found these other pretzels, which I do really like as well. And to me, they're sort of a one-up from the glutino pretzels because they're just unique. And I think they have some serving of vegetables in them. Maybe I'm wrong, but they are made from vegetables. So I feel like that in itself warrants them kind of one-upping regular pretzels that are just made of like corn flour or whatever. And they are these pretzels. The brand is called Real Food from the Ground Up. And so these are vegan. I don't know if the glutino ones are, so could be a one-up there as well. But these are vegan and they're made with real cauliflower and cassava flour. Which is great. And it also contains a vegetable blend of spinach, broccoli, carrots, tomatoes, beets, and shiitake mushrooms. So these are good. They kind of have a weird taste, like you have to get used to it, but they're good nonetheless. And then I also got these butternut squash ones. Same brand, same situation, similar vegetable blend. I've never had these before, but they're worth a try, and I wanted to shake it up with 2 different shapes. So again, pretzels, the staple of the jar, we can all agree. I think, most people enjoy pretzels. I can't see people having like a major aversion to pretzels, honestly. And the topic going by the staple of the jar is really my staple TikToks. Hi, I just wanted to take this moment to say that there was another TikTok that I was going to put in the video. And while I believe that the TikTok itself and the intentions of the creator of the TikTok were in good conscience and just meant for comedic purposes, I can see how this TikTok could be seen as disrespectful to protesters and reporters and other people that have risked and in some cases lost their lives for peacefully protesting the inequalities in our country and for standing for the Black Lives Matter movement. So I've chosen not to include this. And I also just wanted to say that I encourage everyone to read more about Black Lives Matter, listen to Black and people of color creators, and just educate yourselves. Don't sit idly by and think that just because you're not racist or you've never done anything outwardly racist, that it's not also your responsibility to learn more and fight against the inequality in our country. So, of course, we sort of don't know the future of TikTok. The future of TikTok varies constantly, and it's a confusing topic of intellectual property and security and whatever. Like, there's a lot going on there. So basically, because the future of TikTok is uncertain, I have saved some of my top tier staple TikToks on my phone as videos, because, you know, if we just wake up one day and TikTok is not there anymore, I would like to have these videos immortalized and always in my possession. So I'm going to share some of these with you. I've chosen 5 or 6 that I just think are funny. They're either TikToks that just made me laugh a lot the first time I saw them, or they are sort of the reason that I started following the person that made them. And so yeah, I'm gonna share those with you. So the first TikTok that I would consider a staple of mine is this TikTok by Sally Dark Griffin. She's hilarious, and I'm pretty sure this is the TikTok that made me follow her, and she's only gone up from this one. But this just made me laugh so much. So here is this TikTok.
Okay, so like tits out for Fauci, right? No, tits in. He wants you in. Tits in for Fauci. Oh my god, of course. But like, tits out for Fauci. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, tits out for Fauci, for sure.
I think this came out like in March or April, like right when Fauci was becoming a great character in our minds and a great man that the entire public knew. And just the sort of notion of like tits out for Fauci is hilarious. And this is like her style of humor where it's like really strange, but very well written, and I commend her. Recently she got commented on one of her videos by Lizzo, and she totally deserves that. She is on par with Lizzo, like strong independent woman wanting to be a filmmaker and writer, and I love Sally Dark. So the next TikTok that I'm going to show, so of course anyone who was on Vine knows there was the like, oh, I'm going to draw my croissant Vine, and I feel like this, so if a croissant being the topic in point is a requirement of every short form video service, that of course was the Vine about croissants that was just necessary for our memories forever. So this is the croissant TikTok that I think should be immortalized in our memories forever. This video is, every time you watch it, you laugh at a different part. Like, it is 14 seconds long, and the whole thing is so funny, and it's so chaotic, and it's just incredible. So here's this TikTok.
Hi, babies. Hi. Ooh, I like you, little chubby girl. Come here.
Who are you talking to?
The croissant.
It's just, you can watch it endlessly, and like at first you laugh about her talking to the croissants, then you laugh about her roommate, then you laugh about like her losing it, and then you laugh about him laughing, and there's just all these other nuances that you can laugh about, and it just never ends. It's endless entertainment. This next video is just funny to me. Like, it's just great, like punchline at the end. I don't have much to say about it. I just really do appreciate it.
Sometimes people are like, okay, I get that you're non-binary, but do you want to be perceived as a boy or as a girl? Neither. I want to be perceived as a threat.
I just like how they seem very casual, and you don't know where it's kind of going. You think it's going to this sort of deep philosophical reflection, but then it's just that at the end, and I really appreciate what they did with that sword and everything. I do like it. One of my next favorite TikToks is this TikTok by her name. I think her username is like Glam Demon 2004 or something like that. And this is sort of the reason I started following her again. And just the beginning of this video is funny. Just the commentary. So I'm just gonna play it.
Let's rate the video ideas that I have in my notes app. Number 1, love is love, but some of y'all be gay though. This is pretty funny. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10, -2 for homophobia. I think it's still like a fun amount of homophobia, but gays, let me know what you think.
She's really funny. I recently saw a video of hers where she, like most of her videos you can tell are very scripted and she's being very serious and polished, but then I recently saw a video of hers where she was like reacting to something sort of in real time and it was really funny to like hear her laugh. But she's just another great TikToker. This is another staple of my TikTok. And yeah, those are my staple TikToks. And so since we're done watching the staple TikToks, I'm gonna put the staple pretzels in the jar. But yeah, I love TikTok. I hope it doesn't get banned. Or you know, if it does, I hope we can sort of reunite over some other social media. But I don't know if I like TikTok better than Vine. Like I almost think it's unfair to compare them. But I do have a great appreciation for TikTok. I recently only started watching TikTok like maybe since quarantine, a little bit before then. But I really didn't watch TikTok very much like last summer and fall when it was like really becoming a thing. So definitely greater appreciation for it. Do waste too much time on it. But it's funny, it's insightful, it's helped a lot of young people start their careers in comedy and entertainment, and I love that. So yeah, these, beware if you buy these. They have quite a smell. It's just a very like earthy smell. Both the cauliflower and the, what in the heck? Look at this. Okay. But yeah, they have quite a smell. But so beware of that. Be ready for that. But they're good. So yeah, normally the jar people like pour it, they fill everything and then they pour it out and they mix it all up and then they put it back in the jar. But I'm gonna try to just mix it up in this jar because there's still some room in there and I don't really feel like dirtying another large container. It's very saturated by this cereal, I will say. But I think the cereal might be like the healthiest thing in there, so that's probably good. All right, so we have the jar. Look at her, beautiful. Yeah, and so that sort of is this video. I hope you enjoyed my commentary, my funny stories. But I did have a fun time like saying these stories, explaining all of this. Doing this tag or whatever, and yeah, this was fun. I hope this was like lighthearted, funny, and if you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, you know, comment down below like what you would put in your jar, or if you've made a jar, or if you're going to make a jar, like what you plan to put in it. I think like, you know, this, I tried to make it like a good balance of like snack foods and nuts and chocolate and candy, and I think that's sort of what they do as well when they make their jars in this jar TikTok. If you have a TikTok, go follow the jar TikTok, go follow Sally Dark Griffin. I have a TikTok, but it's very not funny, not good, I don't know, so don't follow me in there. It's not necessarily a handle that's easy to find, so you probably won't find it. But yeah. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy your day. Close-up shot of the jar. Look at her. This, I just ate a little bit of this, like all the random pieces, and it's actually really good. Like they're really onto something here with this. Like I put like a mint, a junior mint, a pretzel, and a Swedish Fish like in my mouth almost at the same time, which sounds disgusting, but it was actually super good. So yeah, would recommend. This is good. I kind of like also how the crumbs of all the stuff, like you can see those like sandwich things have like the crumbs from the cereal on it, and it's somehow really good. I don't know how to explain. But yeah,